What's up, y'all? It's your host, Sensei, I'm back in with another episode. I'd like to say thank y'all for clicking on this video. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, a subscribe. We're all here for the fun. It's a great time. Well, I say thank y'all again for clicking on the video, though. But yeah, this has been a very, very interesting week, in my opinion. We have seen a lot. It is football Sunday. Life is going well. Life is going very, very well. And honestly, before we even get to it, make sure y'all follow me on all platforms at Sensei NK. Make sure you go find me on my TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere. But yes, back to the video. Okay, there's this compelling urge. You know what? Not even compelling urge. Honestly, I think I'm hurt. I think I'm feeling it too. But being a long-term Young Thug fan, this week has not been the best for us. It feels like, you know, when your goat is falling from grace, when they're not dipping in the honey that they really should be, they're ruining the legacy that they had in front of them. Well, they had behind them at this point now. As y'all know, recently there has been a lot of audio leaks from Young Thug's jail cell back when he was in his prison calls? Yeah. Okay, if you've been living under the rock, Young Thug has been yapping. He has been goosaping. He's been gossiping like a mug on those jail phones. And honestly, as I'm looking at this whole scenario, I have a couple things I want to say. Number one, I really wonder who is it that is getting access to these calls, and why do you care so much? Honestly, it has to be an undercover thing to remove all credibility from Young Thug. That's like the main thing that I'm getting from it, because of, even with all of the nonsense wahala that I've been hearing in the context to Gunna and things of that nature, it feels too perfect for these audio calls to be dropping at this moment. And honestly, I know he lost a big one once he heard his voice trending everywhere. And honestly, it's getting to the point where this guy was so methodical with it. He said, hey, every single day it will be every single day it will be a new person. It will be a new major head in the industry. It'll get to the point where if you were messing with if you were messing with Thug, just know he's going to be talking about you too. And honestly, I don't even... Because if he even went on this podcast and he was talking about it. He was like, oh man, I don't even know what I was doing at the moment. I was so messed up in the head that's just my only outlet. And honestly, he didn't even need to say all that. He literally could have just been like, I was with my girl, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. And that's one of the things that makes me so furious, especially recently watching everyone's reactions to the audio clips that are coming out. First of all, why are y'all acting like y'all don't be telling y'all girls everything? Why are you acting that anything that you hear in your ear does not go inside her ear? At that point, you might as well just tell her. You might as well go ahead and whisper into his girl's ear. So that's all I gotta say about that. And honestly, he was in jail let me stop saying jail. I'm pretty sure that was prison, jail, beyond the point. He was locked up for so long. It was like bordering on, what was it? 800, 900 days in jail? That's wild. That is insane. So honestly, if you tried this case 100 times in 100 different universes, more times than not, he would definitely be rotting away in prison for that 125 years. This was by happenstance. So it feels like it's very understanding that this is where it all went. But honestly, it sounds so wild listening to these audio clips, especially in context of something that we're talking about too. And as you were listening to it, you're like, wow. So not only is this lack of trust, lack of guy code being just thrown to the side for this instance, but it feels like, so not only are these audios being released, who is signing off on it? Because from the most that I know about it, it's since it's public records, you're supposed to be able to find the audio tape in context to the trial that is going on. But the fact that it seems like this individual is literally just like grabbing it and just throwing it out, or an alternate scenario could be in a case where it's like, because honestly, it could be a thing where somebody gets this, somebody gets these audio tapes, and then they just keep releasing it, trying to get as much money as possible. Because of this is a fantastic gold mine worth of content right here. And this whole Young Thug Gunna, this whole scenario has done so much for conversation for me, at least personally, because of I have seen so many people talking about this street code that, without having a crumb of knowledge of it, right? And then you start to notice, the streets are really, it's dumb. Like the whole ideology of it just does not work, and it's so frustrating because it feels like not only does it handicap you going forward in life, but it holds you to these codes that don't really help you in the long run. If anything, it only sets you in this position that you are in right now, where you actually actively have to eat from the hand that is feeding you, which in my opinion, sure, that's how everyone lives their life. They have to go to their job, they go to their boss, on. But it's not enough bread. I think that's always been the main thing that always drew me away from it, that always just made me think to myself, why is this the route that you want to take? Because it's like the feds start knocking on people's doors after $30,000. They start trying to make sure they get their little cut too. So that's that's part of it. But back to these phone calls. The one that I want to hit on, honestly, I'm gonna go through a lot of them because of each of them sounded crazier than the last. So I want to start off. There's this call he's having with 21, and he's venting to 21, right? And it gets to the point where Thug is like, I literally have this man's career in my hand. I made him this way. I am the guy that put him on. So the fact that I can sit here and watch him just do what he did to me, oh my God, it blew him. It blew him. And as you were listening, you could hear how obscenely hurt this young man is. You can tell how hurt he is because of not only, let's look at it from his own perspective. Let's look at it from his perspective, where it's a case where kind of reminds me of the Yachty stuff, but it kind of reminds me of the Yachty stuff where you have one individual that's just like putting on everybody else around, but there's two vastly different things in the case of how much like influence each party has on the other person. But the main reason why I bring that up, it feels like when you are actively helping somebody, right? And then you go and you watch them turn their back on you. You can feel that type of betrayal, even if you are wrong in the instance. Because 21 said it. 21 said, he was like, hold on. He didn't even, for the instance that you are claiming, that wasn't even a rat for real. He took the same plea your brother took. So what are we really talking about? And honestly, and second note, 21, I did not think you would be the voice of reason out of all this. I did not think that you would be the one to be like, okay. Before you go start trying to ruin people, let's just take a deep breath and just get, how will this affect the money? How will it affect my money? Why are you not just focusing on these albums? Put all this energy into the album. What's going on? And then speaking of albums, actually, let's not even talk about, I don't want to even talk about albums right now. I want to talk about the sheer variety of the amount of people that he was talking stuff about, right? Because the one that truly blew me, I was going to keep this week all towards sports, but then he went and called Glorilla ugly. Why? Why? And then you look left, he's like, who did Kendrick put on? But why? That Kendrick one was blowing me the most because he was like, you'll never be as big as Drake. You never giving out features. You never not putting on help and doing it. Now I'm sitting back and I'm watching. I don't think we need a bunch of Kendrick features. I don't think that's what we need. I like Kendrick being by himself. Let him go to the side and do the business as you will. And that's also another thing. As you listen to these audio tapes, you start to notice he did not think any of this would have came out. I think that's why he got so wild with the type of comments he was making, right? But I'm sitting back and I'm like, this feels like for the amount of audio that's been released, why are you making podcasts on the Geo phone? That's what I'm saying. Why are you recording hour-long yap sessions on the payphone? You know they're recording, right? And that's honestly when I first started this podcast. That's one of the things that I thought. It always felt like that was the main purpose of podcasts, right? Where you get a chance to have a conversation with an individual that you were never supposed to really get to know as intimately as you would, right? But then you're sitting here and you're just yapping and yapping and yapping. And you know what? I don't even blame him. I don't even blame him, because it gets to the point where you thought you're doing some comedic timing, but then you're out here but then you end up forgetting that you are a major artist. You forget who you are because you're just getting here in your flow state. You're just yapping and you don't know what you be talking about, or at least even if you did, you're forgetting how the optics look. I think that's the main word that we're going to use with this whole video. Optics are a very big thing when it comes to being a superstar. Because of as I'm listening to these, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a crazy headline. Yep, this is going to be also a crazy headline. Yep, this is also going to be a crazy headline. Oh my God. And then not even mentioning the amount of random individuals that seems to be involved, right? I did not know how gruesome it is to try and make an album, right? You go ahead, you make the album, you bring everyone together, you end up trying to make it as big as possible. You start bragging in random people to make sure your thing is a hit. You grab a guy like Morgan Wallen, and then you grab Business and Business was a very interesting album, but beyond the point. You do all these different things, and then when it flops, you're like, oh, you know what? We'll buy these bots. And that brings us to my next topic. I wonder how readily available is this botting stuff really is. And it makes me fear for the music industry as a whole, when it comes to stuff like this, because of the amount of major artists that I've heard say, oh no, we will just use bots. We are going to start botting our music. That is crazy, because of not only are you falsifying these metrics and these numbers, but you're also sitting here and faking it. You're just faking it. There's a clip in particular, right? He's like, okay, I think he's talking about his manager. He's talking with his manager about how the streams are not going that well. His manager's letting him know, it's like, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to get number one overall. That's just the way it works. And he's like, okay, we will figure that out. Why we even get this? He was throwing out shots randomly too. That's why I mentioned Morgan Wallen earlier. He was like, why would we even have bro on the stage? But you know, if we can't beat him, join him. First of all, pause. So you're just doing this for the bread. And then you start to click. It starts to remember people are making music for different reasons. People don't want to be the greatest. Some people don't want to be mentioned as an all-time iconic individual, things of that nature. That's fine. Some people only want to be known as the most money-making ass, holding the most bread ass, just being the guy with all the able to run everything, doing everything with their hand, making sure that they are the reason why everything is happening. Sure, fine, have it. But one thing I will say, He goes in like, oh, do you still have the plug for the boosting the streams? He's like, oh, of course I got you. Yeah, I'll call me in an hour. We'll get it done. What are we doing? And my thing is, I feel like this is really disingenuous, because it gets to the point where, okay, so as a collective, we know a lot of these numbers are fake, right? How are we going to be marketing these numbers? And are you going to be able to, not only are you going to be putting your music ahead of everybody else, right? Even though people aren't really messing with your music, you're still going to be seen as number one top dog, right? So not only is the weak rising to the top, and that also got me thinking, because of, in my heart, there's been so many artists that's been hot for so long that I sit back and I'm like, I don't believe you are as good as you were 5 years ago, for example. Like, not everyone is. That's not a thing. That is not a common occurrence where artists just continuously, gradually get better. But my thing is, not only are you stunting music, but you're going around acting like you're this big dog when you are literally buying your clouts. Is that not ridiculous? And not only are you buying your clout, you're suppressing the real talents. And that's why we have people on TikTok right now. We have artists that are selling their soul on these algorithms to be able to get their stuff to trend and push to be able to get any eyes on their stuff, right? And just for them to be losing to fake listeners, people that don't actually love the music, people that are just doing it for the check, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, and I feel like that's a big red flag when you are trying to navigate the forward facing of the music world, right? Because if it gets to the point where you don't know what would work, and nothing can work anymore. Nothing can work if you don't have enough money behind you to be able to step on the playing field to actually have a chance. But no, that's very, very frustrating. And I wonder if there's going to be some legal blowback for stuff like that too. Because it's like, if you're boosting your... Well, actually, no, I take that all back. The major labels definitely know. They definitely know. They definitely. And if anything, it might end up helping them on their end as well. Because it's like, well, my artist has more streams now. I can now advertise this artist as a global phenomenon, even though it's not actually as popular as you may think. But now, and I was scrolling through some of these clips, right? And then I'm like, he's probably gonna say something about that that Future fellow, the guy that he be hanging around with. And sure enough, he did. He had a lot to say. The main one being, he's like, hey, he do not take care of his kids. He need to be taking care of his kids instead of all these baddies. You got to be taking all these kids and these. And first of all, they eat meat munching. That foul on the play. That's throw a flag out. Throw the flag. Because there's no reason. Why are you mentioning another man? Like, is that not insane? Honestly, I think that's just the main thing that I was thinking about through this whole thing. Is this not crazy? Is this not even so much, is this your man? Because you know what? If anything, that's your coworker. And you can't be BFFs with your coworkers. You know why. But not only are you out here pillow talking about this other man, but now the what he said specifically was like so crazy. That was so crazy. Oh my God. If y'all get a chance, to go listen to it, go listen. I don't want to be. I feel like that's bad juju I don't need. But honestly, I don't even blame him. Because life be lifing. I could definitely see why if I thought I would not be getting out for another, 74 years, they're trying to give 80 years, 50 years. I don't know. They're all the same after 10. After 10, it's, might as well live there. You feel me? But beyond the point. But yeah. Thug. this back and forth that him and actually it's not even a back and forth. The amount of stuff that folks has been talking on this man's Gunna head. I would not be surprised if it's not Gunna that's out here sending all the cavalries to be like, hey, drop the album. Actually, not even. I wouldn't be surprised if all this dropping, if Gunna Daily was just Gunna, I would not be subscribed. I would not be surprised. Honestly, I would not blame him. It feels like when Lex Luthor was like, again. Oh my god! Because every single time one of these clips drops, it makes Gunna look so good. It makes him look very real. It makes him. It just feels vindicating. I think that's the main word that I'm trying to get out. Because it's like there's this constant hate on my man Gunna. But it might be because I'm not from this. I'm not from those codes. I don't follow them. But I love when an artist reinvents their life for the better. All bro did, he said, you know what? Actually, Gunna's had such a generational comeback that will be talked about for ages for a couple reasons. Number one, the world was wanting him to flop. Literally everybody was sitting there waiting. Oh yeah, no, if this is not the greatest thing I've ever heard, you can keep it. I don't want it. Bro said, don't worry about it. Bread and butter. And everyone said, oh, okay. You know what? Hold on. Let me pull up something. Cause there's hand drama, yeah. What? Okay, so he's been on this type of timing. So he drops Bread and Butter, and then he drops a fantastic album, a very fun-loving, great album. He goes and drops DS Forever. And then he drops If You Mean. Then he goes and drops A Gift and a Curse. And when I tell you, those albums back to back, crazy. He drops great music. And then he pops back up. Looks like he's down 45 pounds. Ridiculous. When Gunna was on the scene, the first thing that people would always mention was how circular he was. But he said, nah, nigga, fuck all that. Fuck all that. We go to get in this goddamn gym. He gets in this gym, glass skin, hair long, with only baddies, right? Life is changing. His streaming is going up. He's killing it. And now for this to drop, oh yeah, no, it's him. It's him. He's him all along, bro. Him all along. But yeah, great time. And honestly, I don't even. And it's so sickening because of it feels like whoever is dropping these audio clips, they know that Thug can't do anything about it. Because what he's gonna do? Go to the cops? Go to the police to track down who is leaking this audio tape? I don't think he wants me talking to the 12 that much anymore. You feel me? So yeah. And then not even too much. What else is he gonna do? Get online and start like debating with folks on why what he said is not what he said. And then he's already started doing some of that right now, and it don't even look good. It don't even look good. It look a little wrong. It look a little wrong. Druski is a very interesting person. Did y'all? I know y'all saw that Druski sketch. Bro pulled up in the type of white face that you didn't even know was white face. I was watching it, right? And it took a little bit for my brain to really like register what was going on, because I'm looking at that skin and I'm like, that's not Druski. I was honestly, the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, who is this new comedian on the stage? Who is this new individual coming for battle? Who is this new trendsetter that we're about to see? And it's just Druski. I have never and honestly, the amount of folks, I know those people did not think that was Druski. They did not know that was not they did not know that was not a white man. And as you're going through these skits, I'm sitting to myself. I'm like, who is the makeup artist? And why are they so talented? Because of God can't give him both hands. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So y'all, you gotta have some setbacks to be able to make something like this work. He had the tan line. He had the undershirt tan line. Who thinks of an undershirt tan line? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? But oh my God, Druski has been on this crazy run, man. He's been one of them ones. He's definitely one of them ones. Especially with this one specifically, it was so big. Folks on Fox News was talking about it, and now I'm looking at him. Folks was talking about this is going to be a new age of different minstrel shows and people trying out the blackface. And I always want to say, in this grand 2025, my friend, go for it. What? Go for it. What are you gonna do? Jump you? Go for it. If that's your thing, go for it. Because we all know. Y'all been doing it ever since. So hey, that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I want to say about that. But I saw Theo Von commented, hey, does anybody got a is there a makeup artist that can hit me up because I got a jerry curl and something in mind? And baby, I need to drop it. I need to see it. Especially, I was talking about Homeboy about this. I was like, hey, if he's able to do it in a way that's so eloquent, in a way that's so connective, and such a great job that you cannot sit here and say anything else. If it's not fantastic acting, then we could have a problem. But if you're sitting here trying to give an Emmy award-winning performance on the level of a Tropic Thunder, we could get to world peace. We can get over there. We can get over there. But I will tell you, hey, tread lightly, fuck nigga. But yeah, no, it's a very wide landscape to see the stretches that people will be going for this. And honestly, I'll talk about Druski for a little bit. His career is going to be very interesting in retrospect, especially the amount of random clips that's all Druski. It feels like it's going to be very difficult to not have his name. It's going to be very difficult for his name not to come up when it comes to like internet humor and content that way, because of the amount of clips that I have of Druski is ridiculous. This is literally this one. And honestly, he has that one gift. Where when God gives you an idea, you go do that idea. No matter how wild, no matter how boastful, no matter how greedy that idea is, you go ahead and tap into it. Because of, unlike the Michael Jackson and Prince of it all, if you do not take your idea and run with it, I'm going to tell you that one time. If you don't take that idea and do it, somebody else will. Because keep in mind, when it comes to idea, you don't own ideas. You do not own ideas. All you could do is hope that you execute them right. That's all you could hope for. Because of the more time that you spend thinking about the idea, the more time somebody else will go and snatch it. And I know that sickening feeling when you're like, it should have been me. I thought about it. That was mine. I am the owner of it. But all you could do is just sit back and recognize you're just too late. It was never yours. It was just yours for the time. It was kind of like a baddie. You can't own the baddie. The baddie owns you. The baddie's only here for the baddie time. You get a baddie shot a clock and then they walk off. That's all you can see. But yes, it's a very, very deafening, the cry of it's very deafening when you realize you've lost something that you've truly loved. That fantastic $1 million idea that could have got you out the trenches, but you was too weak to do it. But yeah, no, honestly, I've been sitting back and I've been thinking about this. I feel like Druski might be the greatest culture vulture of all time. He might be the greatest culture vulture of all time because of, I cannot even imagine. Because off head, he has made videos with 12 different groups At least, yep, 12 different groups doing 12 different things. And they all hit. They all hit. Just think about the Dominican sketch. Yeah, like, no, he's definitely on a roll. But yeah, no. Very good. Actually, very okay. I lied. I enjoy his comedy. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy the method. Football is back. Football is back. As you can see, I'm in my fantastic Vikings jersey. This is gonna be our year, but honestly, I want to talk about this game specifically. I want to talk about the Eagles versus the Cowboys. First of all, quick game cap. Quick game cap. Number 1, 24-20. Eagles win. The Eagles have been on a run recently. And honestly, I know their whole squad is just delighted that they get to put hands on them first. They get the chance to show them that they are not America's team no more. Because one thing I will say, the amount of running that this Eagles team was doing all up and down them Cowboys back was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But before we even get there, football is she's a very petty demon, in my opinion. Ben Van Sumeren, he got injured on the first kick, and the next couple plays goes down. What's his name? Oh my God, Jalen Carter. Oh. I remember watching it live on this TV right here. Jalen Carter goes and spits on him, right? And he gets ejected immediately. And honestly, some context. I was shocked because I was watching it, right? And they're doing the replay, and I'm like, there's no way that out of nowhere he goes and just spits on Dak Prescott at the starting QBs. First of all, what the fuck do y'all have to talk about? What do you guys have in common for y'all to be sitting here yapping at each other to get to the point of spitting on another man? No, go put hands on him. You gotta put hands on him. But there's some news that came out that I was doing some research on it, and it turned out Dak does this thing where he's like frequently spitting, right? And he spit in the direction of Jalen Carter, but he didn't realize he was over there, because he was spitting right over his offensive line, right? And it got close to Jalen, and Jalen was like, boy, did you just spit on me? And then guess what Dak does? He said, what would I spit on you? And then he just went straight to action. It escalated. And just all it did, it escalated. It only escalated. And honestly, that's hilarious to me, because of when somebody tries you like that, the first thing that you think to yourself is, oh no, I have to take it to a million, especially when you're playing a sport, because you know what? Who are you talking to? Oh my God. And honestly, it gets so ridiculous too, because it feels like all you could do is escalate a situation like that, because if the tempers are high. This is your championship first game. You guys literally just got the ring. So yeah, who are you playing with? And then on Dak's side, it's like, no. I am a superstar QB. Who do you think you're talking to? Is this camera on me? Who does he think he's talking to? And honestly, after that moment, you just knew that this whole game was going to be fireworks. It was only going to be fireworks. And that's what we got. All right, so the Cowboys, they ended up trading Micah Parsons away. They traded Micah away. And it really showed its ugly head today. It was really a big factor in the way that they were able to lose. One of the main reasons why Jerry was like, hey, we got to get rid of Micah. They wanted to patch up the run game. Why would you get rid of the best edge rusher in the league to stop the run? And then as you're watching this game, you recognize something. I don't think the Cowboys can beat a team like this. I really don't think. If they're good at running, They have literally just removed themselves from championship contention, from Super Bowl contentions, because of it's like you have to face a running team. You have to face a team like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, or again this Philly team, or even a team. You're going to be seeing so many running squads that trying to not have the personnel to not guard the run is going to be very detrimental, because like not only do you guys do not have the tools to patch up some of the holes that Micah was giving you, but now you're going to be forced to try and make up, what was it, 50 pressures, like 50 pressures, and not even to mention the benefits of just having a player like that on the team. You notice this on the Packers versus Lions today. Just having Micah out there, everybody, you have to be aware of him. And you see it in the Packers versus Lions game. You have to be aware of Micah because of he's literally everywhere. And then it gives your other players a chance to play off of him. That was what you were missing in this game. That's what you were missing. And it gets to a point where teams were just, not even teams, since it's just the first week, let me not overreact. Everybody was like, okay, as long as you guys are still trying to focus on our wide receivers and having four in the, what was it? Y'all were rushing four. As long as y'all are rushing only four, y'all are trying to go one-on-one, I promise you, I will get downhill. I promise you, there's nothing you can do with a guy like Saquon Barkley. And it gets to the point where defensive players don't like getting hit. They just don't like getting hit. Because you're telling me you guys are going to run the ball 100 times every game? Like y'all will need that many runs? Oh, wow. And not even to mention when you have a guy like Jalen Hurts, I don't think the Cowboys can beat the Eagles. I don't think they could beat the Eagles anymore. Specifically because of Jalen Hurts, because of what they were setting them up to do, at least in this game specifically, was, hey, try and make a throw. And if you don't make a throw, actually, let me phrase it. I'm phrasing it really wrong. Really bad. The way the Cowboys were playing in this game specifically was like, okay, we are just going to make every throw difficult. And then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, my first option didn't work. Second option didn't work. All right, I'm going to run for 5. Let me get 5 yards real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Suffer. Let's do that 3 times. Let's do that 3 times over and over and over again. First down. And you know what? It would have been worse. This 24-20 score does not do it justice. This game was out of hand quickly, or at least it didn't feel like the Cowboys had a chance of setting themselves up to make a comeback. And now I want to talk about the Cowboys real quick. The Cowboys are, I'm playing fantasy this year, right? And I was talking, if y'all seen the last episode, I was talking to my guy about, okay, who should I draft for my first pick? And the amount of people that told me I would go CD Lamb number 1 overall, I was like, y'all are ridiculous. He's not even the best wide receiver in the league. And it's like, no, he might not be the best wide receiver, but he's sure darn close. And I honestly, I was like, nah, it can't be. I was like, there's no way he's close to, no, he's not. He can't be close to Jamar or Jettas. Like, what? No, of course not. But this game, I definitely see the vision. I definitely see the vision. There's nothing like watching a guy actively get targeted every single play. Oh, it felt good. Damn, I really wish that he was on my fantasy team because I was watching. I was like, oh yeah, no, you. I see the way you play, I feel how you play. I see how you play, Dak. You gonna come around just airing it to him. Double coverage, I don't give no hell. Double coverage, triple coverage, double too high safety, double time on him to the left. Don't give a damn. Throwing the ball anyway. And it gets to the point I'm sitting here, I'm watching. I'm like, bro, yo, man's is open. You know what? I was talking about this on TikTok. I was thinking to myself the other day, one thing that I would hate is to be the second option to the superstar, because if it gets to a point, I'm open. And honestly, the more that you're watching, it feels like the lack of trust for everybody else around the room is just showing its head. It's so you can see it. And honestly, I don't even blame him. Because especially when you got a superstar wide receiver, you gotta give it to him. Who else are you gonna give it to? Who else can you? He's getting paid too much not to get the ball that many times. I think that's like the type of mindset that it comes when you do have a player like this, because it's like, what? I maxed you twice. What are we talking about? You will produce for me. I don't know why you're trying to act like you will be producing. But yeah, we may have a Jalen Hurts problem. I don't know yet, but I'm having a underlining feeling that this year might be a little bit tougher for him. Yeah. Because if they had a, I don't want to say a more competent coach, because I feel like the coaches on the, I don't want to say that if they had a more competent coach, but it feels like the individuals on the Cowboys just are running around with their head cut off. With just like a chicken with their head cut off consistently. And you start looking around, you're trying to figure out where do I need to go? Where can I go? What is the plan when you line up in front of a guy like Jalen Hurts? Why are you guys not bailing out on these throws? Let them throw. Let him throw. Keep him in the pocket. The 2 times that they try to keep him in the pocket, he got tackled for a loss. And then as you're watching, because of I have AJ Brown on my team, right? He sometimes disappeared. That's okay. Sometimes you don't need him. Sometimes you don't need him for the big games, right? You have Devontae Smith. That's fine. That's okay. You have your tight end. That's fine. That's okay. You have Saquon. But my thing is, as you're watching this team, the amount of times that he would just rather run, even though that there was somebody streaking on a sideline or a quick check down for a couple of your wide receivers, the aptitude to actively go for the run every single time, I feel like that's going to run its course faster than not, especially in the context of trying to win it all this year. Because of this year specifically, I feel like there's far more great teams than there have been in former years, especially when you go to the AFC, when you get to the four horsemen of the apocalypse, Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Mahomes. And then not to mention the other young guys that are just like around the fray. Especially when you start getting to the NFC, the NFC, when honestly those 4 have a pretty good chance of making it all the way through. And not even to mention there's like underlining vibes of teams like the Broncos and Tampa Bay. People don't want to have that conversation, but there's teams like that are also brewing around that have been waiting their turn. And this over-reliance on this game managing seems like his main way of trying to produce a championship for this Jalen Hurts led Eagles team, because of it's literally game. I think that's the best way to describe what he does. It's just like whatever look that you give me, all I'm trying to do is not turn the ball over. And we've seen it in the NFL for a very, very, very long time. As long as you're not turning that ball over, get yourself a couple extra scores, you will be one of them. You will go far in this league if you're able to manage the clock, if you're able to get the right people involved, and you're able to actively not turn the ball over. Yeah, you will be one of them. Next on the docket, Neymar might become Neymar becomes a billionaire overnight. Okay. The rich gets richer. The luck. I've always had this opinion that luck is more of a field that you allow to be involved in your life. It's not a active thing that you can grab, but it's a thing that you can welcome into your life. And Neymar is a very lucky guy. He's a very, very lucky guy. Okay, let's get to some of the news. So basically, a Brazilian billionaire leaves his network for Neymar Jr. Everything he owns. An approximate around like 700 and some billion, an approximate 700 something million dollars is given to Neymar. Keep in mind, Neymar is worth 300 M's and counting. He has a couple more contracts in that body. He is 31. He's actually we don't know how old is Neymar. Neymar's on the younger side too. So he definitely has at least a couple years in him. Yeah, Neymar is 33. Wow, that is a lot of meat munching. That is so meat munching because the guy that's the billionaire, well the real rich guy, the billionaire, he's a 31-year-old that is worth a lot of money. And the main reason why he's like, okay, I'm going to give it all to Neymar is because of this might bring him back home. First of all, please. I feel like there's something about sports that just gives so much room for men to meat ride because of the acclaim and the adulation that you have for these great individuals that are able to do this game better than you ever even conceived of. Makes you feel more connected than ever to these individuals. That leads to more meat munching than is needed. And honestly, it hurts. It definitely hurts because of the dudes. Like, yeah, no, I've never met him, but like, I have no kids, I have no wife, I'm like sick, so like, what else am I gonna do with this, buddy? Honest, bro could literally end all hunger, all homelessness. He said, no. Neymar needs it. Neymar definitely needs it. And that is such, it is funny. It is funny. It's really funny because I was just on the internet talking about how I would spend my millions of dollars if I won the lottery, right? And he literally won the lottery. That's about as much money that you'd get from winning the $1.8 billion lottery. We didn't talk about how expensive, how much taxes gets removed from the lottery. But that's a whole other conversation, I'm out here watching it. I'm thinking to myself, first of all, you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no homies. You have no no siblings that you want to bless up. You can't even bless your country. You can't put it into taxes. You can't do that. You can't end homelessness in a 500-mile radius of you. That's not what you're going for. But instead, it's like, no. Neymar got me through some hard times. He was a winner. He was a winner in my city. He did his big one. And honestly, I think this also reminds me that the fandom that's in football is greater than any other sport, because I could not imagine any other sport having such a connection, adulation, any competent reasoning to be like, you know what, all my money, thank you for the joy that you've given me. That's like, imagine a billionaire going to an NHL player and be like, you know what, here's all the Johnson & Johnson money you could ever need. Boom. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. Ooh, doing this all in the hope that this aging superstar will come back to your town is hilarious to me because of, first of all, he's not even gonna be that good when he comes back. And I wonder if it's like this connection to home type of thing, right? Where it's like if he comes back, the community will rise up again and they'll be more interested and connected with a guy like this because it's like, hey, you are the one that put us on. You are the one that changed all our lives. You made it cool to be from here. Because honestly, that's fair. That's fair. That's definitely a part of it because it's like I've talked to a couple of my friends when it comes to the game of football. The connection that you feel with everybody, especially I had a friend that went to what was it? I think it was Argentina to go see Messi. Ronaldo, somebody. He went over there to go see one of his favorite players, and he said the energy that was in the room, was in the field when this person would walk in. It kind of felt like Blue Lock personified. It gets to the point where it's like every single step that they take is like, oh my God, the aura, the energy, the beauty, the silhouettes, the power, just the adulation that comes from being around them just is so intoxicating that it makes the game worth it. And then when you're in a crowd of hundreds of thousands of people just sitting together, just dancing, having fun, celebrating, feeling what you're feeling while you're feeling what they're feeling. It feels like this familial connection that you don't get all the time. It's a longing. It's a care. It's a need to be part of everybody else that's just so catastrophically connecting than anything else. But I like to end this episode with I just wanted to stay fair, and that's I love this time of year, man. We're heading to fall is begun. It's it hurts. It hurts. One of the ways that you know fall ends is one of the ways that you know that summer is ending is when all the state fairs come to a close. And I want to just talk about this delicacies that I was having this week. I had this Uncrustable burger, right? So they had two Uncrustables. They went and deep fried it, right? And then they got a patty and they got cheddar cheese. And then they had this big thing of lettuce and onion. And you put it together and you take one big bite. And when I tell you, that might have been the greatest state fair food I have had in my life. It has to be top 3, top 2. It has to be 3 or 2 at this point. Because of when I tell you the amount of flavors that were coming together to make something so angelic. Oh, it was fantastic. And honestly, so there was something about the peanut butter being interacted. It's something about the peanut butter and the jelly interacting with the meats and the cheese, and then the last peanut butter, peanut butter and jelly combination that was swirling all together. You see the grease running down from the side of the patty. How good it was! It was one of those moments when you have to just like sit back and realize, wow, we are really American. We are doing something. This would kill a Victorian child. This would be so much. It was. You know when you watch the movie Ratatouille and then the one guy, the critic, he takes a bite of it and then he gets transported back to when he was a child. I was feeling that. I went into my own world while I was taking that bite. It felt like something I haven't. It felt like a new flavoring that the flavor palette has never felt before. And when I tell you how biggeth backeth I felt after taking that one bite, oh my God. It felt it. It was definitely needed. It was a thing that really brought me some joy. Oh, and the next food that I had that was really nice this year. I went in and got a turkey leg, right? But I had plans for this turkey leg. I had a Ziploc bag. I put it in my gallon Ziploc bag. I zipped it up and I waited because of what I had planned for it. The haters would have sabotaged what I had planned for it. The haters would have sabotaged. So I debone it like I was deboning a rotisserie chicken. I'll go and I put it inside like a soup of a marinade, if you will. It was soaking inside this like it was like a barbecue type of thing, but I had it soaking in. And then for the bone, I went and made sure, okay, I'm gonna have fun with you. I'll go and I not deep fried it, but like I let it sit and I cooked it. I made it into broth. There it is. And I made it into broth. Let it cook for like about like hour, 2 hours. It was good. It was good. And yeah, made some ramen with that too. It was very nice. For the turkey though, I put it into sandwiches. I put it into some ramens. It was a very collectively good time at this year's State Fair. And the amount of people that are there this year, every single year, there's just more and more people. It feels, and the thing is, even when I went, it wasn't so much shoulder to shoulder, but it's more so like everyone had their own designated area for when they were standing or sitting or walking around that I really enjoyed. It didn't feel too much like I was bumping. It didn't feel like I was eating people's burps. You feel me? That's my main thing about it all. But yeah, it was a very good time. I surely had fun. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We out.